Welcome back to the Scott Hepler Football Channel. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to the channel, like the video, subscribe, support the channel. I'd appreciate it. If you have any comments about the video, just go ahead and leave those down in the comments. Today we're going to be previewing the Everton Tottenham game for the FA Cup on Wednesday. So with that being said, we'll get right into it. With the Tottenham win, that'll put us within 2 games of making 2 more wins of getting to the FA Cup final, which would be pretty cool. Jose kind of did what I wouldn't have done against West Brom. He played a very strong team. I talked about it in a previous video, but I think we're at a point in the season where we got to pick and choose what we're going for and where we're putting our efforts in our first team players. But he did it, and that's Jose. He's gonna go for every competition that we're still in, apparently. So, but we do have an opportunity here to get a win and move closer to that FA Cup final. So right now, currently the Spurs are sitting 8th in the league, and Everton sitting 7th. The 1 point separating the two. So they're right now we're pretty equal. Within the last 5 matches, all competitions, Tottenham's won 2 and lost 3. So we're finally got off that losing skid. But this is really going to be a test to see where we're really at. West Brom is the bottom of the barrel on the Premier League right now and looking to move back into the Championship. So I don't know, that was really a great test for us to see how well we're coming out of the funk that we've been in. Everton, on the other hand, has won 2, drawn 2, and 1 loss in their last 5 all competitions. So, but neither team's really tearing it up or anything. But Everton just played Manchester United this past weekend and tied them. So, and Manchester United's been pretty much having their way with everyone at this moment in time. So for them to come up and get a tie and actually scored 3 goals too against Man United, that's says something about where Everton's at and what they're pushing to do. As far as injuries, Kane did come back unexpectedly for the weekend match against West Brom. He looked pretty good. I'm just still concerned that we're going to push him too hard and too fast, and we're going to get a long-term injury out of this whole deal. But, you know, he was key in helping the team win too, though. So definitely needed the points. As far as all the other injuries, still the same people, Lo Celso, Ali, and Reguilon. And still not really sure on the time frame for Ali and Reguilon, and still looking 3 to 4 week window for Lo Celso. Everton only has 1 injury. Player's been out the entire season with an Achilles rupture, so no chance they'll be back after this game. And other than that, they're full strength. And something for this game too, this is the only competition, any kind of a competition that Everton's in right now, other than the Premier League. So this is their thing. They're going to throw everything they have at this game, put out all the frontline players, and really make a push to make that FA Cup final. Because kind of where we're at, you know, we're basically in the same position, 7th and 8th. Getting into that top 4 or 5 for either of us at this point is going to be extremely tough. And they even have a game in hand, Everton does. So they have a better opportunity than we do. And this is where I still think that our best opportunity for European football and for silverware is within the cup competitions in Europa League. But so their key players is Rodriguez. He's been tearing it up in the midfield for them since he's come in from Real Madrid. Definitely someone that kind of schooled us in the midfield in our first game against Everton. I think this is going to be another one of those grinded out games. Both coaches kind of want to be a little cautious first and really don't like the open play type of stuff. And I think both teams are going to kind of sit back and just kind of counter punch each other on the counter attack. And when they have the opportunities, there's not going to be a lot of open play. I think there's a lot of opportunity for the Spurs to have open play. I don't know that Mourinho is going to allow that to happen. So definitely, we'll probably see them hunker down. I'm sure Mourinho's going to put out a strong team again. And the problem that we always have in teams that kind of hunker down and just put up the blockade is, how are we going to break it down? Because from open play, we've kind of proven that we just can't do that well. It's not happened very often, especially against good teams. I mean, we looked pretty good against West Brom. Probably should have had a few more goals. I mean, we should have probably had 4 or 5 goals in that game. But again, it's West Brom, a team that's conceded the most goals in the league of anyone else by a good margin, and a team that can't score. So for us to, have multiple opportunities and come away with 2 goals is what should have happened, even if we didn't play our frontline players and rested them a little bit for this game. So again, I think this is going to be a key game in figuring out what we're doing going forward. If we stay in all these competitions, I just don't know how we're going to do it. If Jose keeps putting out our frontline players every game, every time, even if he doesn't start them, he brings them in. So they're not getting really any break. And we've got many games coming up here. We've got the Man City game on the weekend, and we're going to have to put out a strong squad against them. They are really flying right now. And I don't know that our defense is shored up just because we put up a goose egg against West Brom. There's still going to be some issues that we need to deal with and continue to need to deal with throughout the season. And I don't know what we're going to do against this Man City team. And maybe I don't know. That's not. I was going to say maybe he's made the decision that he's going to kind of roll back on the Premier League and go for the others. But I mean, if he was going to do that, he would have put down some of the second team on the lineup against West Brom, because our second teamers, as I've mentioned in my pregame on the West Brom, should have beat the West Brom team. I do think he's going to bring Musa back in. He's going to, have Højbjerg. He's going to really make this a strong, solid, as strong a team as he can. And it's going to wear on our guys. And I think this is going to be a game that whoever gets the first goal probably wins the game. It's going to be low scoring, 1-0, 2-1, something like that. If not going to over, extra time and things like that. It's just, I could see at the end of the regulation time this being a tie too. So it's definitely going to be a challenging game. I think that Song and Kane are going to have to do their magic if this is going to happen. And I think that he's probably going to have Rodon and Dyer in the middle, in the back, just because he didn't play him during that West Brom game. But we'll talk more about that in the predicted lineup. But something I want us to think about, or something I think we, in the comments, answer this question, but ponder upon this. If the Spurs don't win any silverware and finish outside European competition for this at the end of the season, will it have been worth it to use up our best players in every game and every competition? Because that's what I feel like we're on the track to do if we try to throw our frontline players out there every time. I personally think it's a mistake. I know Jose is kind of under the gun after the last run of games, especially the losing 3 in a row in the Premier League. He's kind of under the gun that he may lose his job. So I think that's part of the reason he threw out a strong lineup against West Brom. He had to get a win to stifle some of the momentum that was heading towards he was going to be out the door. And but I think just the way he's shown and everything he's done this season, he's not going to let up regardless of how many competitions we're in, how much he's playing our frontline guys. I'm going to burn them out. So that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you all think down in the comments. I appreciate y'all watching. And if you do like this content, please like the video, subscribe, support the channel. And if you have any comments about how I can do better or what you'd like to see, leave them down in the comments too. Let's make sure we're respectful for the communication that we conduct between each other, and with myself, I'll be the same. I'll respect anyone's opinion. Doesn't matter if it agrees with mine or disagrees. And I mean, we may have a discussion about it, but there's no sense that we can't be respectful. But I look forward to you all commenting, and hopefully we can get the win on Wednesday. Let me know what you think. Come on, you Spurs.